Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here, looking all cool. I want to do a contest entry real quick. This is for Johnny Mac over at Rockin' Metal Plus. And I guess I should explain the sunglasses. I know I had to do this once before, totally different reason. Last couple of videos I made, you weren't able to tell, but my eyes were starting to kind of itch a little. So apparently, not apparently, I know for sure. Last week, around Thursday, I was out doing some yard work, and there was some vines going up the side of the shed, and I started ripping them down. They looked kind of odd, but they didn't immediately strike me as what I normally see on the other side of our yard. And I got them all, I was ripping them out of the thing, and then I finally looked at them and I said, oh, crud, this looks like poison ivy. But we don't usually have it on that side of the yard. It was a wholly different area. There's always some on the other side. And anyway, yeah, I looked and confirmed it. It was indeed, the vines look different, but anyway. So I got into it, and that was Thursday, and no problem. Then Friday night kind of started getting a little, a little itchy. A whole day later, I took a shower right afterwards, everything, tried to do all the precautions. And then Saturday was when I made my last couple of videos, and my wife's like, why do your eyes look like they're kind of getting puffy on the top? And I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, they weren't really itching, but lo and behold, I woke up on Sunday morning, and I mean, I look like I've just got done with Fight Club again. Can't talk about that. But anyway, so they're really puffy. I look really horrible, and I'm going to keep these on because, wow. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, we'll get by. This happened before. Sadly for me, it's going to be probably many weeks of being covered with bumps and swelling up, and it's going to just spread all over my torso usually. So never had it on my face though. Interesting. Never had it on my face. Never had this problem with the eyes. So let's get into this though. He wants to see our box sets. He had 250 subscribers. He wants to see our box sets. Now, I have all these box sets up here. I've shown a lot of these in various videos. You've got, and now there's different ideas for box sets, of course. Sometimes they release an album, a single album, in a box set with a lot of extras. So you got like the Adamant box set here, which you make it see. And it's just one album, but then it's got CDs, DVDs, it's got pictures and patches, all that stuff in it. You've got things like the Michael Shanker Revelation box set. One album, got a puzzle and some other extra poster stuff. Transatlantic is two versions of the same album, but again, it's got extras in there. Skid Row is a box set. You've seen that. Skid Row, all 5. Demon Hunter, one album, but it's got extra cards and pictures. Liquid Tension Experiment 3, again, one album, but it's got the DVDs, CDs, and all that stuff in it. So, and then you got, Van Halen box set with the 4 live albums. You got the Saxon Vinyl Horde, which is 4 double sets of albums. And then you got the Garth Brooks and the E Street Band and all that stuff. So, I was going to go a little different first off and show mostly just CDs, because we've seen these before. But I do want to show, it's funny, I saw his video for this contest literally on Sunday. He had posted it maybe 3 days earlier, and I noticed it on Sunday. And in the mail yesterday, I got a box set. So I've never shown this before. This will be the first time I've shown this on this video. And apologies to Bev out there for this, but we got the second Def Leppard box set. So I got the third one here, and that was when Amazon did that crazy deal. This one never had a crazy deal, but this was one of those ones where it was, I don't know, Amazon sold it as like new, which means there was something wrong with it. Turns out when I got it, the shrink wrap on the edge was ripped. So it was open, but not open. Now, this is just the box. I pulled the albums out. I've already put them into individual sleeves, and I'm going to put them in my collection that way, and then the box will go up there. It's got the big book, the 40-page book, which is just photos from the time frame. So it's just a lot of stuff there. Won't go into a lot of that. This has the albums that, it's in that era where most people, take it or leave it. Adrenalize, of course, huge one there. Retroactive is them doing a bunch of cover tunes, which they've done a lot of, which I enjoy. I think it's fun. Slang, most people, I don't know where they stand on that. It's absolutely one of my favorite albums. Obviously the original stuff from the early days is going to be high up there, but when it comes to all the later stuff, I really like Slang. Euphoria, probably one of their weaker albums as far as just being very, 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 very mellowed commercial for the most part. And then Rarities 2 and 3. So, great stuff. I really wanted Slang, and I really wanted Retroactive, and of course I want Adrenalize. Now, I would like to get the first box set, because I want to have all three would be nice, but it's not ever seems like it's going down in price. Actually, it's probably more out of print now and harder to get. But I wanted that one because, I did want to get Adrenalize stuff. I have, the first couple albums, the first 3 albums on vinyl already, but, I do still want to get Hysteria, which I don't have. These are not really in the right order. I just kind of pulled them out, sleeved them, and then as I listen to them, I'll organize them. Most of these are double discs, double vinyl sets. So Slang, I don't think is. It feels like it's only one. But yeah, great stuff. This one was on Amazon. Actually dropped down the price. I almost bought this like a week or so ago. It dropped down like $22, but then it shot back up to $30, and I'm like, so box set came right at the amount of time. Anyway, Amazon had it for cheaper than I've ever seen it. And so I'm like, I had to do it. It was like an impulse. Boom, bought it. So let's jump into some CD box sets. Again, these are things I probably have never shown. Well, this one I have shown a long time ago, but this is a Liquid Tension Experiment Live 2008. And what it is it's got a bunch of DVDs from a lot of DVD concerts. And it's a box of, it's like a book. It's just like disc. Oops, that disc is in the wrong spot. Oh, no, that's backwards. Okay. Discs after discs after discs after discs. So, yeah, it's a big set of, I forget how many DVDs they're in here. But it's a lot of stuff. That's a bigger one. So then we got, again, individual boxes like the Adamant, things like that. We've got Daniel Amos. This was one of those crowdfunders, and they did this, and it just went so far over the money, and they kept adding stretch goals that they put this in a box because there's so many extra discs that came. So the album is one album, but then they put in all of these, booklet and some live stuff, and then another live stuff and some studio stuff. There's the actual album, more live stuff, and then cards and just all kinds of fun stuff, pictures, stickers, things along that line. So that's the kind of stuff you get in these, what would be considered a deluxe box set edition of an album that's a single album. Then you got these type of box sets, which are, more like book sets, but, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and it just tends to be like best of type stuff. And there's 4 discs in here of best of stuff with a bunch of books. So these are like, again, more of a bestie of type thing. Same thing with the Monkees music box. It's going to be like just all kinds of hits and stuff, and it's on 4 discs also, and it's got a nice big book in here. So you got that. And then we got the Kiss box set. This is the one that also came in a big guitar case. It was, a really big deal. But this one, I didn't buy it back in the day. It's got a lot of demos, and it's got some, a lot of good tracks, studio tracks. Kind of like a best of, but it's got all kinds of killer demos and early stuff. And, that kind of just interesting stuff from back in the day. It's got a nice big, book in here with pictures and descriptions. And then it's got the 4 CDs in this nice velvet-lined red case. And like I said, there is a guitar case-looking edition out there that's bigger. It's even, prettier. But this was, I didn't buy it back in the day. It was always kind of expensive. I remember seeing it at Walmart. This is dirty. And then I found it probably 10 years ago in a, I don't want to say a thrift store. It was more of a, they sold used records. They sold used CDs and video games and stuff like that. And it was, they had this in there. And I forget, I paid, I don't know, $20-something for it. I was like, yes. I mean, it's a great set. Michael Shanker Reactivate Live. This is 4 live shows from a certain time period back in the 80s. And there are, 4 discs in there. And it's got, whoops, one of them's coming out. Kind of like, a set of 4. Got the Police box set. Basically, this ends up being, it's not in exactly the right order, but there's 4 discs, and it's everything. It's every album and bonus tracks. But it's not like they're broken up into albums, but you can actually go through, and every album is contained in here. So it's almost like having everything from studio standpoint with a bunch of extras. Leonard Skinner box set. This is just, again, a 4-disc best of. It's got all kinds of stuff. 47 songs. And a book. I won't even show it. It's 4 discs, and yeah, it's just kind of like a compilation of the best of. And then this will be one of the last ones, I guess. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Playback Came out a couple decades ago, and it is all kinds of tracks. This is not like an album box set. It's got a bunch of studio tracks. It's got a lot of bonus stuff. Live stuff and demos and stuff from Mudcrutch back in the day, and just, it's just a box of all kinds of previously unreleased type stuff from back in the day. Great stuff. And then there are, a lot of the regular stuff sprinkled throughout to, kind of have a bunch of studio tracks in there too. Now, he mentioned in the comments of the video, he said, hey, if you want to show DVDs or whatever, that's fine too. I happen to have these. So I had not been back to my office since March of 2020. And last week I had to go back to the building I work at to do something real quick. So I went to my office. I was like, I wonder what's in my office. I wonder, had I left anything that could have spoiled or is growing, who knows what. My biggest thought was I have a coffee pot in my office, one of those little ones, 4-cup, and I thought I probably left coffee grounds in there, and they're probably nice and moldy now, but it turns out I did not. So I'm looking through my desk, obviously things I don't necessarily need because it's been 2 years since I've used them, but I found these in my desk because I had taken these in to watch on break, just kind of in the background at times. Bought these at the thrift store many years ago, 50 horror classics. So it is, it's a box set of just silver discs with a whole stack of silver discs. There's like 20-some silver discs there, front and back. So they skimped out and just made sure there's no artwork or nothing. It's just one of those things you see. You see these all the time. It's just all kinds of movies you've never heard of. Most people have never heard of. But then you get the second, Legends of Horror, another 50, similar box set, similar amount. Some of these I have heard of. None of the major ones are on here. You don't really have any. You got pictures, of Bela Lugosi and stuff on here, and you do have some of the offshoot Bela Lugosi movies, but neither one of and even this, you got the Phantom of the Opera, but I don't know. I can't recall if it's on here. I don't think, if I recall looking at these, and I can't see them because they're so small print, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't include all the Universal Monster stuff, the typical stuff that Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and all of those guys were in, even though it has a bunch of their other movies, Christopher Lee, Alfred Hitchcock, Vincent Price, Lon Chaney Jr., so it's got a lot of stuff by them, but I don't think it has the Universal Monster series that, and those are series I really wanted to get. They came out on those blue DVDs and then I think later Blu-rays where they had like Frankenstein, and they had like every Frankenstein movie in the box set, and the Mummy and the Werewolf. And it was movies some of them you never even heard of. And they had all of those in this. And then they had a big set where you can get all 10 in one. And they're always expensive. I just need to go back and look at that. But I really wanted to get those because I love those classics. I bought these because I thought it was going to be similar. And it has a lot of movies. And I watched some of these and I'm like, wow. I mean, I have never seen these movies, these old black and white and some color horror movies from the, even, some of them are 30s, but most of them are going to be 40s, 50s, and 60s. Just B-rated stuff that probably was in matinees that kids everywhere love it. And I watched some of these. I'm like, I've never heard of these. But they were fun. I'm just like, this is wild. I started posting stuff on Facebook back then of just pictures of screens from the movie to see if, just random. Anybody know what this movie is? And some people were like, hey, and they pointed out they had seen it. So I felt, it's kind of neat that there's all this stuff. So I still want to get back to watching them, so I brought this home. So just happened to have those on the desk, and he mentioned that in this thing. So there. This video is going way too long, but hey, congrats on the 250 subscribers. Go check him out. I got a link below. Make sure you jump on this contest. He's giving away a bunch of different stuff. I really want that Antics album. It's one of the vinyl albums that he's giving away, and he's got a bunch of CDs he's given in the package. I really want that Antics album. But anyway, so here I am. Check it out. Link below. I will see you later. Rock on and rock hard.